Hi friends, it's Karen McNall here with the Inspired Daisies team of stampers. Thank you so much for stopping by today. I'm so excited to share another pre-recorded video. This is video number 4 of 4 different videos I've created for my free card making tutorial and ordering offering. So it's just for you. When you place an order of $50 or more between now and October 14th, 2025, you'll receive this kit here along with 3 other additional card kits completely free. And the card kits are over here, and I will link each of the videos in the description box so you can go back and see those. Please note that the $50 total doesn't include sales tax, shipping, or the use of Stampin Rewards. You can head over to inspiredbygram.com to place your order today. Your support truly means the world to me, and it really does help keep my small paper crafting business going. So let's dive into card number 4, and then we'll do a final recap at the end. So I am using a bundle again, and this one is called Traditional Labels. It's part of the Traditions of Christmas Suite collection, and it can be found in the the mini catalog on pages 22, 23, 24, and 25. So they've really put a lot of input on the traditional labels in the suite collection. The card here, like I mentioned earlier, uses lots of scraps and also this really pretty velvet. So we'll go over that in just a second. But here's another card that I made. Very simple, easy scrap card. The inside very basic on the white. And then this one here, you can see how just a small piece of scrap will really energize the inside of your card. So let's get started creating our next card, our final card. And I'll go over all of the ones that we have made. All right, here is the fabulous vellum. So when I got and ordered the vellum, I didn't really know what I was going to do with it. And then I had this aha moment. Can I die cut using it? So I chose to use the traditional labels, and I don't know if I showed those to you or not, but there's lots of labels in here that you can use, and it goes really nicely, of course, with the Peace on Earth stamps, not the Peace on Earth, the traditional labels stamp set. But I die cut this card here using this one, and then here, this one here, let me show you. It's got this, it die cuts with this really fine piece here, which it really did a fabulous job in my die cutting machine. It's got a nice little plastic on the back side, not plastic, but paperish feel on the back side, so you can adhere it to lots of things. Stampin' Dimensionals adhere to it. I even tried using Versamark ink and heat embossing, and it works, but you got to be really careful with the powder. So might want to try that if you want to give it a try. But then the colors that it comes in are called Christmassy, shaded spruce, white, and cherry cobbler. So I'm using cherry cobbler today. And let's take a look and see what is in your kit. So of course we'll send a basic white envelope. And this is going to be a horizontal card. So our card size is 5.5 by 8.5 when not folded, and then 4.25 fold and burnish. All right. Then we'll have another piece of cardstock, and that's basic white, which is 5 1/8 by 3 7/8, and it'll come right on the front here. And then another piece of basic white for the inside, which is 4 1/4 by 2 3/4. I've got my modern oval punch, which we'll need to stamp on. Here's that velvet die cut here with the traditional labels. And then I've got some random scraps here to create the front. All right, so we're going to do some stamping first. And again, we are using photopolymer stamps. So let me grab my piercing mat. Oh, I found my dimensionals that I lost from before if you watched card number 3. All right, we are going to do some stamping. Merry Christmas. And I think that's just about it. So I've got Christmas mounted on a D block and Mary on a B block. And let me grab in my cherry cobbler. And I do need to actually, I did not clean my Angel Policy stamp, so let me do that really quick. My Stampin' Scrub, I love our Stampin' Scrub. It's so great. We've got a wet side on this side with your Stampin' Mist, and then the dry side on this side dries your stamp. And then I put a little star up here for the wet side to remind me that is the wet side. And then even though there's a sun here, my eyes will go towards that little sticker and it'll be a little bit quicker for me. All right, so let's stamp with our cherry cobbler ink. I usually use cherry cobbler only around the holidays. Just for me, I like a softer or darker red ink. A real red ink is really bright, and I find that for me, I gravitate more towards the cherry cobbler. So I'm being very careful because this basically barely fits. So I want to bring the Christmas as far down as I can on the Modern Oval Punch. And then we're going to take the stamp that has Mary on it, and it's curved just a little bit. And I'm going to sneak it in at the top. So now we have a Merry Christmas. Let me grab my card base and we'll get that stamped with the Angel Policy, as I do sell my cards, and I'll need to have this on there. It's got the copyright Stampin' Up logo on there. So now I'm all set with that. Let me close up my cherry cobbler ink. Now the fun part, we get to put this card together. So let's bring in our silicone craft sheet. I can't show you the designer paper because basically I really have none left. I'm saving what I have left for my retreat because this is one of our retreat papers. So I got to be really careful as to how much I use. All right, so now what I like to do, let's look at this card here. I like to use 2 dark and 2 light, and I like to put the darks opposite each other and then the lighter colors opposite as well. I just feel like it's a little bit more pleasing to your eyes. And now we're just going to lay these out. And they are somewhat directional, so you just got to be careful. We're just going to play with it like a piece of puzzle, really. I'm just going to turn them around to see which direction I'm looking at those flowers there. You can also use your Stampin' Blends to fill these in if you want to. I've seen lots of people do that as well. This flower is kind of pointing up, so I think I want it up in that right corner, don't you think? And then this one here, this one has some bubble bath in it. Super pretty. Oops, I think that one's upside down. Let's take a better look at it. Yeah, let's go that way. So I think that's going to work. We've got 2 of the lighter patterns and 2 of the darker patterns opposite each other. So let's put these off to the side here. I don't want to mix up our order. And then I'm going to take our first one. And we'll flip it over and we'll add our Seal Plus. I added way too much. And then let's make sure that pattern's, whoops, yeah, that's my basic weight. I thought it was my envelope there for a minute. All right, we're just gonna add it right about here. And then it doesn't really matter which direction you go. Whatever works best for you. I'm right-handed, so I tend to work on my left side and then going across. So then I'm going to add this one down here in the lower left corner. I don't really care about the distance in here. I more care about the border on the outside. Next up is our top right corner piece. And that one will go right here. Whoops. Don't be fussy with me. It is a full moon tonight, so who knows what's going to happen. My cat was going crazy last night. She knows when it's going to be a full moon. And this one here, let me just turn it. Yep, we're going to go this way. So the biggest thing is just really try to keep the height and distance of your DSP equal to the other. Oh my gosh, I'm having a hard time here because I put this one too far over. All right, I think that's good enough. Okay, so then we'll bring in our card base. This is gonna just get put right smack down here. No need to raise it up because we're gonna be raising up that Merry Christmas, and I think that'll be pretty good enough. Pretty good enough. I don't even know if that makes sense, but I think you guys know what I mean. All right, so that's beautiful as is. Here's that velvet, and you can see, hopefully you can see the die cutting on it. And then we'll add our adhesive again. We're going to center this one, and I look at the points because we got a point on the top and the bottom, and then the left and right side. So I want those to go into the white seams, basically. It feels velvet. It's like really nice. And our next thing is our sentiment, which is way up high here. We're going to flip it over, and then we're going to add some dimensionals to it. So I think I will just add 4. I think 5 would be overkill. Make sure they're pressed down really well. And then I'm going to take my piercing tool, which I always like to do, to remove those backings. And then we're going to center this one on the velvet die cut here. Looks good. I'll press it down. On the inside here, we'll take that white. You can stamp a message on the inside if you want. Lots of different ways you can create a message too with this stamp set. And then we're just going to put that white. I'll probably go back and put some designer paper on here just to jazz it up a little bit. And then I've got to adhere this strip to my envelope. So I really like to jazz up my envelopes too. Let's take a look at it. I think it's going to go that way. Technically, it's supposed to go this way because of that blue flower, but it's really not long enough. So I think what I'll do, how about I'm going to do it. What the heck? I don't care. Oh, I could use the blue side. Oh, let's do that. Randomly turn that over and look what happens. It will work. Okay. There we go. Now to embellish the cards, I used a number of things. I used the iridescent pearls, which should look really nice. And then this one here, I used the cherry cobbler. They're in our annual catalog. They came out last year, the cherry cobbler and pearl adhesive back berries, which I'm going to use in today's card. You can color these with Stampin' Blends as I did right here. That's Lost Lagoon. This is my only triple berry left, so we'll save that for something else. I'm going to grab 3 of these. I like the odd numbers. And I'm going to randomly put them on. One thing I would like to tell you is that these will not really stick well to any of the foiling, okay? So make sure that you don't put it on the centers. I know I like to do that once in a while, but truly I found that they did come off. So I'm going to just find some random white space or some cherry cobbler space, something that's going to work. Let's try one right here. And then we can add one here. And then finally create that little triangle. Oh, that's kind of almost up and down. I might need to move that one. Let's put this one. There's lots of foiling here. We'll put it right here. Move this one. Let's create our triangle a little bit better. 1, 2, and how about right over here? Does that work? 1, 2, and 3. Okay, I think that works. All right, so let's take a look at what we've got here. This one we just made with this nice little envelope here. Here's another one, give you another idea. I added this strip. And then finally this one right here, which was my very original one. And with the coordinating designer paper strip there. So I hope you enjoyed my card series. Again, this is for my ordering special from October 1st through the 14th, 2025 at inspiredbygraham.com. I will link all of the videos together in a description box. And with the free card kits, you do get printed instructions, and I do mail those with the kits, and they are printed in color. I will include the linen thread, what you need, and then random embellishments of what I have in my stash. So don't worry, they will all coordinate really nicely. So card number 1 from today's videos, happy birthday. And then we went to you're such a blessing, and then peace and love, and then finally Merry Christmas. So I hope you enjoyed all the videos, and that they're pre-recorded, and I hope you have a great day. So take care, and thanks so much for your support. I appreciate it.